Elantrip 12-volt heated blanket. What were my experiences and would I buy it again? So we're back, and I want to do a quick video, really a series, and wrap up the materials and the equipment and everything I used to do my truck camping. If you haven't watched this before, haven't seen my channel before, or some of the videos I've been putting out, I'm just doing some videos on my experiences truck camping as I drove back pretty much across part of the country, at least halfway through the country, going back to my home state in Kansas, and giving you guys an idea as to what I used to stay warm, what worked, what didn't work, what would I change, what was the value of the stuff I brought, is this really worth it, and give you some specs and some ideas as to what you might be able to reasonably get out of it if you decide to purchase something like this. So we'll just go ahead and dive right in. This is the Elantrip 12-volt machine washable heated blanket. Now I'm going to say this right now, I would not machine wash this. The list of things or exceptions and requirements that you have to satisfy in order to appropriately machine wash this, I wouldn't machine wash it. I would actually just hand wash it, or do something of that nature, but I wouldn't machine wash this. You can go through and do all that if you want to, and there's quite a few exceptions or quite a few requirements that you have to satisfy to safely machine wash this and not ruin it. But again, like I said, that's if you want to do that, great, but I wouldn't just do it. This is actually pretty soft. So we'll go through some of the specs here in a little bit, but this is actually really soft. I slept on it and I felt fine, didn't have any issues with that. It's nice and plush. It is 40 by 55, so it will cover your legs, part of your torso. To me, got up to about my chest area, and that was great, that was fine. It's really super simple and easy to set up. This is not complicated, guys. But nice and warm to the touch. That's fine, great and dandy. It is, like I said, only 12 volts. But I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through some of the specs here. I'm going to read it off of this. This is their instruction manual. It just opens up like this. I want to make sure I get this right. So with this, you get a 6-foot corded control that plugs into your cigarette outlet, or I'll show you what I did here in a second. I used my Jackery. But just to make sure that we get this right. So it's 12 volts, got it. DC power, not AC. Obviously with that low amount. The output is 45 watts or 3.75 amps maximum, and that's key here. It has an 8 amp glass fuse, it's 100% polyester, 6-foot cord like I mentioned, and 40 by 55. So 40 by 55, that's all you get from this. Now, why did I say that the 3 3/4 amps or 45 watts is key? Well, I'm going to jump right to my impressions here. This is a nice setup. It's a nice blanket. It's a good blanket. I don't mind it. I don't have any issues with the blanket itself, other than it just wasn't quite that warm. Okay, it got warm-ish. It was nice. I had it on the high setting as a low, medium, high. I'm going to show you that control here in a little bit. And it just plugs in here. It's a simple plug-in. You just pop it in, and I'll show you that here in a second. But it just wasn't that warm, and I wanted something really warm. I wanted something that would keep me nice and warm while I slept on my little tri-fold mattress, which I'll do a review of that next. And I had my 10-degree Enlightened Equipment Enigma quilt. That's what I was sleeping in. That with my thermals and a beanie, that's what I slept in. And I wanted this to really just be nice and toasty warm, and it just wasn't. It wasn't terrible, it wasn't lukewarm, but it just wasn't quite that warm. And I think if I maybe doubled it up, that would have helped out a lot. But I just laid it over the tri-fold mattress, laid on top of it. When I was in Utah and Colorado, it was pretty darn cold. And the electric heated water bladder that I did a review on, and I'll link that up in the cards, that paired with this was really nice. That kept me warm. That was probably my best night's sleep. But then I just tried this on its own, and it it just was a little bit lackluster. So I would like to have a bit more oomph in this, a bit more heat, a bit more warmth coming off of it to really make it worth the purchase. But it's not, like I said, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. I was really looking for that heat. Now, I would be fine if it required more battery. I would be fine with that, as long as it would put out more heat. So if it was 70 watts or something. I don't know what, I don't know if these are feasible numbers, but something that would be a bit more robust would be fantastic. I did fall asleep with it on high. I think it was on for about 6 hours, and it did chew through a good bit of my Jackery Explorer. I'll show you how I had that set up here in a second. But I think it was like 40-something% of the battery, that maybe a little bit less, but it's like 40-something% that definitely got chewed up through leaving it on all night. But I don't really have any complaints about this. It's just, not that warm, so I guess that is my one big complaint. But it's soft, it's pretty affordable. I bought it off of Amazon and it showed up, so not a big deal. I just wish it were a little bit warmer. That's my big thing. So I wouldn't use it on its own. I would definitely pair it with a hot water bladder. I would definitely have some extra layered clothing. If you're looking for this to be a one-stop shop, you just plug it into your cigarette outlet in your car or your Jackery or whatever, your Blue Eddy, your Pecron, whatever you got, whatever you have for your batteries, it's fine, right? It has a DC power. It's gonna be fine. But yeah, it does the job. It's, like I said, wish it were a lot warmer than this. But let me go ahead and show the setup of this, how you connect it, and the controller, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, we have a co-host here. So we'll just go ahead and wrap this up here real quick. This is the blanket. Like I said, I used my Jackery Explorer. That was easy. But just go ahead, pop it in. We'll get that started. And then all you have is just this little piece here that connects directly, plug right in. Has a little bit of a nipple, if you will, or a little bump, and that lines up with this little doodad here to lock it in, and you literally just plug it in, bam, you're done. Super complicated, right? But the thing that I did like here, and I'll come up to you. So this here, guys, this is all you get. Low, medium, high. That's all there is. Super, super simple here. And it doesn't have a cutoff. So if you leave it on high, it'll just stay on high, which is great. I liked that. I don't necessarily like those that have the cutoff at 2 hours. So I went ahead and I unplugged it from the Jackery so that way I could get up here. So I'll just probably bring this up here. Ah, there we go. I had to get situated. So you just have this little red light. And like I said, it does not shut off. So it'll run the entire time. And it was, like I said, easy, not much to it. You just plug this in right here and you're done. Nothing to it. It looks like we're kicking out. Oh, see, on high it's at 62. So let's see what we have. Low, 62, medium, 62, 61. Hey there, kitty. You want to be famous? So yeah, it looks like around 60 watts. So much more than the 45 that we were talking about, or that was advertised in that little manual. So very low on one. Hold on, kitty. Yeah. So as soon as you kick it up to medium and high, you're going at 61 watts. That's what I've got on my Jackery. So, but in any event, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, don't do that. But in any event, so that's really my review, guys. I know I'm kind of all over the place here. My wife's out of town and I can shoot in the living room without having to disturb her, so I'm going to take advantage of it. But that's all there is to this. Oh, unplug it. Super simple. Nice, you know, it's pretty decent, but like I said, it just wasn't that warm. So, not terrible, not bad. Would I buy it again? Probably not, no. I would look for something that had higher output, even at 61 watts. Like I said, I wasn't really that warm, and I would not think that this would do the trick for me as a standalone. I don't know what's out there, haven't really done my research on this, so if you're doing your research on this and you're looking around and you're trying to figure out kind of what's going on out there and what you can get, this is okay, but I wouldn't buy it again. It's just not something that I think is going to deliver as much heat as you would probably want if you're going to sleep with it. If you're just looking to put it over your legs as you're driving along, like you're the passenger, sure, okay, yeah, that's probably going to do what you want it to do and fit the bill. But if you're looking to sleep on this and keep you warm, you're going to need to supplement it. That's my recommendation. So again, nothing really bad about this. It's just not really that warm, so I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't buy it again. Let me just say that. I wouldn't buy it again. I would go for something else. But I did like that it doesn't have that 2-hour or 3-hour, 4-hour auto shut-off feature. That was important to me. So I did like that. I did. And I will use this again. I don't think I'm definitely not gonna send it back in. It's past the time that I can do that. But I'll use it again, but just, I'm gonna have to make sure that I have some extra layers. And also, by the way, I had plenty of layers with me. So I had blankets and such and such. So, and still, this just, on its own, just wasn't that warm. So, in any event, I hope you kind of got some good information out of this. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. And yeah, that's all there is for this one. I'm gonna get the bed out and do a review on that and put that up. So if you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up. Lets me know that you kind of like these things and that they're helpful to you, and I'll keep making some of these. And I'll see you in the next video, if there is a next video. Bye.